much for joining us for 9 on the positive side this weekend. A North Carolina man is showing up old or young to learn something new. Thank you so much for joining us for 9 on the positive side this weekend. A North Carolina man is showing us you're never too old or young to learn something new. As Chad Tucker shows us, it just takes some practice and also dedication.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 years ago, my wife gave me a little wood carving kit, and I thought that was really neat. And I've got a background in art. I've actually, been to college for commercial art and graphic design. And
Dale Davis is proof.
Yeah,
we all have talent.
So one day you're just cutting them, one day you put them together.
Yeah.
And no matter your age, it's never too late to learn a new craft.
So I started playing around with that wood carving kit, and then it was like all of a sudden those two worlds kind of came together. And I actually use this finish on a lot of things. But
he left behind graphic art for wood art and carpentry.
The most difficult things, be sure you don't lose any fingers.
Making everything from chainsaw carvings to jewelry boxes. This one fashioned like Noah's Ark.
It spins open and got a place for necklaces, and it's actually a jewelry box.
Recently, it's these handcrafted Moravian stars that have captivated people.
So we actually hand rub every one of these.
Each one unique.
That's part of the character of all these things that we're hand making is it doesn't look machine made, or it doesn't look like it's mass produced. When it's time to put the finish on, that's when it really reveals what it's going to look like, and it really comes alive. Yeah, so we played around with different finishes and stuff.
It's time here in his workshop with the wood and his faith that he finds himself.
Number one in my life is God. And that's why I like carving. I like carving animals, is recreate that beauty that he's given us, and you get to see it come to life.
In Davidson County.
If you're doing something that you love, it's really not work.
Looking for Roy's folks.
If I'm willing to try and
Chad Tucker
and willing to learn, then
Fox 8 News.
Possibilities are endless.
His work is really impressive. If you'd like to see more of what Dale does, you can find his page over on Facebook. It's under the Odd Knot Woodworks. Some women in Lenoir County are using their talents to give back. 9 on your side's Abigail Velez learned about their most recent service project and how it helps the community.
In the early 90s at Lenoir Community College, a group of quilters created what is now a quilting society.
They came together and organized a guild, and it was named News Quilters Guild Incorporated, so it is a corporation, a nonprofit.
The group exists to comfort those most in need with a handmade warm embrace, a quilt.
We gave 40 quilts to the police department, and we let them know these are to go in the police cars and use as you deem fit. We're hoping that if they have to take a child out of a domestic situation, that this quilt will be one that this child can wrap up in, and it's a hug from all of us. We're a bunch of grandmas for the most part.
Hours of labor and loads of patience. I asked the guild where they find their inspiration.
I have 5 or 6 quilts that my grandmother made, and I have one that is, I'm the 5th generation to get it handed down to. So I've always wanted to do this, so I retired and now I can. So
Lemonade, layer cake lemonade. And the material was given to me by my son and his family for my birthday.
My friend gave me this fabric, and so I made it into a baby quilt. and I'm busy binding it now.
And when motivation runs low, the quilters turn to each other for guidance. And how did you think of this idea?
I saw one she made.
We love quilting. We love fabric. We love being with each other.
The News Quilters Guild is proving that some hugs can last forever. Reporting in Kinston, Abigail Velez, 9 on your side.
And the News Quilters Guild says because they are a nonprofit, they rely on community support like money or fabric donations. If you'd like to help out, we have more information for you over on our website, WNCT.com. If you're looking for a new spot to maybe get some coffee, this story might be for you. Awaken Coffee is opening their doors in the city of Greenville soon. It's employed with people with intellectual disabilities. Carol Preston is the co-founder of Awaken. She came up with the idea after visiting a similar coffee shop that did the same in the state.
We all want a job. We all want to feel like we belong somewhere. And this has certainly already become a family. I just love watching the employees work together and encourage each other.
Their grand opening is next Saturday. They'll have a few other soft openings up until that grand opening next Saturday. You can see their full schedule over on our website, WNCT.com. April is Autism Awareness Month. It's dedicated to raising knowledge about the challenges people face with autism. Today we're introducing you to Sebastian Franco, an artist with autism who is also going blind. But that is not stopping him from achieving his dreams. Alex Jurgens has this story.
Meet Sebastian Franco. He was diagnosed with autism when he was about 1.5 years old and is legally blind. But that's not stopping him or his creativity.
I took some art classes and my art teachers loved my drawings.
They were saying his point of view or his conception of art was something that they've never seen before in an autistic person, and so they really encouraged him to continue.
Opportunity hit last year when a children's author asked him to do the illustrations for his new book, an opportunity he couldn't pass up. His mom, Jace, says she's amazed and happy that his challenges don't slow him down.
He was able to look past some of what other people may feel as a hindrance or obstacles.
And it serves as motivation to move forward.
And if not for books, it's his passion. It's what he truly loves to do, is to draw.
The hope is for proceeds from book sales will go towards a trip for Sebastian and Jace to go to Alaska to see the Northern Lights, a goal they hope to accomplish before Sebastian completely loses his eyesight. For him to put his mark on a book,
I feel pretty excited and accomplished.
In Wichita, Alex Jurgens.
Coming up next on 9 on the positive side, a North Carolina teen is soaring to new heights. How she's landing in the history books. An astronaut from Eastern North Carolina was named as a crew member to participate in NASA's latest mission to the moon. Now to your signs, Aaron Jenkins caught up with Jacksonville's Christina Koch.
3, 2, 1.
Preparations are underway for our country's next trip to the moon.
Rise together. Back to the moon.
I am excited that anyone is going on this mission. We are taking humans back to the moon.
Eastern North Carolina is playing a big part with astronaut Christina Koch on board.
Growing up in Eastern North Carolina in Jacksonville, outside of a military base, I felt like I had a very diverse group of friends. That really lent itself into how I view the entire world. College and NC State, so many opportunities, and I jumped on every single one of them that I could.
Koch is one of 4 on the crew and the only woman.
If we're going to answer humanity's call to explore, we should represent all of humanity. To me, that is the most exciting thing about this mission. We know that we are more successful if we take every single person's contributions. Every single person with an innovative spirit, with talent, with skills, with a dream is welcome at this table.
During the 10-day trip among the skies and the stars, the Artemis II team will be gathering information.
We are going to test out every aspect of the Orion vehicle so that when they take it on Artemis 3, they know that part already and they can focus on the next step. And the whole idea is to eventually land on the moon, have a responsible, sustained presence there, take what we learn, go explore Mars.
Cook says she hopes she's inspiring others, just like her, to reach for the moon and beyond.
If I am inspiring people the way that I was inspired by my heroes, both the heroes from North Carolina and the heroes in the space program, that is an awesome feeling. The most important thing is to tell the people around you that you believe in them. I was lucky that I had people in North Carolina that told me that, and that's what I'm going to be focused on.
So exciting, and that was our Erin Jenkins reporting for us. The crew is set to take off sometime next year. And this story is also taking us to new heights. A North Carolina teen is making history as the youngest to finish Craven Community College's pilot program.
I'm proud that I've been able to finish it. I really have, because it has been difficult sometimes to, stay focused and really bear down on it and finish it.
19-year-old Ashton Warren earned her commercial pilot's license. It's through the Aviation Management and Career Program at Craven Community College. At first, she wanted to be a flight attendant, she tells us, because she loves traveling so much. Then her dad encouraged her to try to become a pilot. And look at her now. She's chasing her dreams and hopes to work at a major airline one day. You've probably made one of these before, a paper airplane. It was on full display at a school in Pennsylvania earlier this week. Aija Jang shows us how learning is taking flight.
The mission, make a paper airplane. The goal, be creative, learn and have fun. A gym of very excited kindergarten students had the opportunity to race their paper airplanes for a prize. Janice Gavrin, a local veteran representing the Gardner-Warner American Legion Post 154 in Montrose, came up with the idea for the event as a way to give the kids an opportunity to unleash their creativity outside of the classroom.
They concentrate so much on making sure that they have good scores in this thing and they pass this. This lets them be free. It lets them be creative, and it lets them do something a little bit out of the ordinary.
The students worked on their plane designs over the last few weeks for Tuesday's fly-off. They gathered in the gym in grade groups for a little friendly competition.
To kids, these are huge things, and these are moments and memories that they'll reflect on and remember. It's nice to have kids be creative and set the pen and pencil down and the books down and just be able to be a kid.
The planes were judged for flying the furthest and for the best overall design. The winning students were awarded a small cash prize. Each student that participated received a certificate signed by the principal and organizer Janice Gavrin. Both the prize and the materials for this event were funded by the Gardner-Warner American Legion Post 154 in Montrose. The organizers say the best prize of all was a gym full of smiles and joy that really took flight.
And that was Aija Jang reporting for us. So we know there are great things happening where you live. If you have a story idea, you can send it on over to us. All you have to do is just email what you're seeing right there on your screen, newsdesk@WNCT.com. Again, it's newsdesk@WNCT.com to send your story ideas to us. You can also reach out to us about your stories on Facebook or over on Twitter. You go to a game to watch your favorite players battle it out on the court, but what about the ones who are cheering them on? Coming up on 9 on the Positive Side, we go behind the mask of one of the most well-loved sports mascots right here in our state. There was a time where some say he was the most famous sports celebrity in Charlotte. He was a man of the people, yet the average person might pass him by on the street. Mike Lissette introduces us to the man behind a well-known NBA icon.
Upon transitioning to a career in sales, Michael Zerillo quickly discovered the grind never stops.
I'm usually out and networking.
He also learned to make the deal it's about standing out. Fortunately, since day one on the job, he's had an ace in the hole.
It's not my lead-in thing, but when they get to know me a little bit more, and then it's kind of a differentiator.
You could certainly say so, because it's not every day one gets to do business with a former NBA mascot.
Hugo was my alter ego that was a big part of my life for a long time.
17 years, in fact. That's how long Zerillo was the beloved bug. Starting in 1990. The former collegiate gymnast had a front row seat to Hornet history. And sometimes, like in 1993, he was even closer than that.
Morning, the shot!
When he hit that shot and we finally beat the Boston Celtics, I was like the fifth one in on the pile on Alonzo.
Zerillo keeps a picture of that night in his office alongside several mementos from his time as Hugo. The 58-year-old estimates he worked more than 2,000 games, missing only 4 due to injury.
I had to have my appendix out the day of the game, but then 5 days later I dunked through a hoop of fire.
But eventually all the injuries caught up to him. And along with his desire to spend more time with his family, Zerillo stepped aside, hanging up the sneakers and the stinger. Even though Zerillo's been retired for 16 years, his mark on the franchise is still felt to this day. Hugo's still doing his thing, and Zerillo's creation, Super Hugo, still rules the sky.
We had a phone booth made, and I'd run in as Hugo and come out as Super Hugo, come up with dunks that no one had done before.
The man of teal.
And thus, long before he completed his first sale, Zerillo sold Hornet fans on fun.
You know, you can't help but smile because it's on the character.
Leaving a legacy that lives on.
I was out there and doing the best I could.
Both at the Spectrum Center and in his office.
And that was Mike Lissette reporting. Next on 9 on the positive side, we're taking love to new heights. The marriage proposal you have to see to believe. A Mint Hill man says he was fueled by love and pure adrenaline when he proposed to his girlfriend. The couple plummeted thousands of feet from a plane before he got down on one knee. So add into the nerves of a proposal and then go skydiving. As John Lee tells us, the story sure does have a ring to it.
And what are you about to do right now? Go skydiving! Oh my God.
Oh, to be young and free-falling in love. When Parker Burns and Lauren Decker went skydiving recently, it was all a setup.
I'm ready to be engaged.
Parker planned a romantic gesture once they came down from the sky above Salisbury, so he wasn't nervous at all about jumping from a plane at 10,000 feet.
It was perfect because I wasn't scared to jump anymore because I was scared to propose.
What's up, Lauren? I love you. At this point, we're gonna be engaged. I'm super hyped, and I hope you're surprised.
Never in a million years would have thought it would have happened then.
Parker enlisted his parents to lay out some candles down below. During the descent, Lauren did kind of wonder,
why are there so many people in the landing zone?
The proposal was a blur at first.
He had this big sign that he had laid on the ground that I was supposed to read as I was coming in for my landing, but I didn't have my glasses on, so I didn't see it.
So it said, Lou, will you marry me?
I've wanted this day for so long.
Thankfully, it was an immediate yes.
He was crying, I was crying, his mom was crying, my parents on FaceTime were crying.
He kind of has an eye for such moments. Parker's side hustle is photography. Here are a few examples of engagement photos of clients.
And it's a special moment in someone's life.
Finally, it was his turn.
It feels so surreal. It's actually us this time in the pictures.
Mm-hmm. He's never been afraid to shoot for the moon. While they were students at UNC Charlotte, he confidently slid into the DMs of the dream girl he didn't even know.
I said she was beautiful, and it went from there.
And that worked?
Yeah.
Welcome to the new times.
Yeah. Surprising to me too, I know.
5 years later, friends and loved ones are blown away about how he popped the question.
A lot of people that we've told so far, they said I set the bar too high.
All my friends are saying that.
No telling how he'll top that, but for now they bask in the glow of a perfect landing and a new beginning.
It was just a great moment. It was really magical.
In Mint Hill, John Lee, Queen City News.
Definitely a special congratulations to them. Thanks so much for joining us this weekend for 9 on the positive side. But of course, we always end with one more thing to show you before you go. Let's end things on a smile with this calf who has a unique marking that looks like one. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next weekend.